I got to kick this thing off. Can I kick it off? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ladies and gentlemen, listen.
Yo, what's good, everybody? You are now listening to another episode of the Man Listen Show. But before we get started, let's hear a few words from our sponsors.
DD's Daiquiris is your #1 supplier of premium daiquiri mixes. You will love the taste of our classic margarita and signature strawberry mixes. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at DD's Daiquiris. DD is spelled DEEDEE. You can also find us at www.dd'sdaiquiris.com. DD's Daiquiris, giving good vibes to good people, one good drink at a time.
Please buy the new book by Arika Nicole Moore, Diabolical Tales of Woe. Diabolical Tales of Woe is a thrilling collection of short horror stories that leave you in an excited trepidation to see what will happen next. Prepare to face one horrific encounter after the next in this captivating novel. You can find this book on Amazon in the Kindle and paperback version. That is Diabolical Tales of Woe by Arika Nicole Moore.
More Grace Counseling and Mediation Services offers individual and relationship counseling as well as mediation services to the community. At More Grace, healthy partnerships are valuable and beneficial. Please visit the website www.moregracecounseling.com for more information about our approach to counseling. More Grace Counseling and Mediation Services, where we offer more grace and more healing.
Are you looking for a virtual assistant who can help you with your scheduling, travel, research, and expenses? Demi Virtual Solutions is the answer for you. Demi Virtual Solutions also provides mobile notary services. They will travel to take care of your needs. So if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and need a virtual assistant or are looking for mobile notary services, contact them at 469-522-9005, and you can find them on their website at demivirtualsolutions.com. That's DEMI virtualsolutions.com. Are you in the state of Texas and looking for a knowledgeable loan advisor that will walk you through the process from application to closing? Well, then you need to contact Joe Byers at Trinity Oaks Mortgage. Trinity Oaks Mortgage offers FHA, VA, and conventional loans. They also have a first-time homebuyers program available. There is also down payment assistance available as well. Make sure you contact Joe Byers at Trinity Oaks Mortgage. You can reach Joe at 972-512-8990. Conversate with Us Radio presents the Man Listen Show. We are the blackest radio show on the internet. We bring you our opinion on topics that affect the Black community in an effort to enlighten, enrich, and empower every brother and sister that falls under the sound of our voice. We operate on a no-hating frequency, so be prepared for us to keep it 100% real and 100% Black all the time. Please follow the show on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. You can also subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you leave a comment. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. And make sure you tell everybody about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. I'm your host, Mark B. All right, y'all. So in the news, the Supreme Court made a decision that is going to have a pretty profound impact on college players, Division I players in the NCAA. It looks like the path for players to be paid for playing, for using their name, their likeness, it looks like that's going to become a possibility. We just want to talk about it on the show because I know this is something we talked about. You know, a lot of times I've mentioned how I'm not really a big fan of college sports because, you know, it reminds me of sort of like plantation, sort of exploitation. So definitely want to talk about that. Some other topics in the news we're going to talk about. But what y'all think when y'all saw it in the news that the NCAA may start having to pay the players or letting them earn money off of their name and their likeness?
I was excited. I'm always hesitant when I see major decisions like that because, you know, there's some behind the scenes work And they've always got a plan B for how they're going to exploit people and get away with it. So initially I was like, yes, they're going to get paid. But then the lawyer in me began to be concerned for some of these young Black athletes who don't have parents who can hire a lawyer to look over these endorsement contracts that could be in perpetuity if they sign the wrong contract. And then next thing you know, they're signed to the same person well into their NBA career and they're stuck with that. So I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of positivity to come from it, but there should also be some concern from the parents to make sure that their children aren't being taken advantage of.
So when I was reading about it, I do think it's a start, but I honestly don't like it. Like, it's not enough. I feel like this is just a kind of a way to, pacify everybody, but it's not going to fix the problem. Just March Madness alone, just that one tournament is like $1 billion business every single year. And basically what the NCAA is saying, or what the rules are saying, is that athletes can, get paid off of their name, or they can host the camp, or they can sign an autograph and that gets paid. But what about the other, 10, 11 guys on the team? And then even if you are one of the top stars, most likely you're going to be a one and done person. Maybe you'll stay 4 years, but if you are playing like, basketball, which is a climate controlled sport, it's all year round. And even football, most of the time you're a collegiate athlete, it requires your time all year round. When are you going to find the time to actually commit and host to, putting on a basketball tournament in order to get paid, and hope that you have a coach or athletic director who's going to let you take that particular weekend off and do something? So I just don't like it at all. Like I said, I think it's basically just, like I said, half-assed. Like, the players need to get paid. That's it. Now they're basically just giving them a small window to get paid on their own. And again, that's not going to affect all 15 guys on that team.
Well, I think it's capitalism. If you can earn it, then that's on you. And if you're not able to, command that type of value with your name and your likeness, and that's on you as well. I like what you talk about in terms of like having the tournaments, because I know guys who were former basketball players, and that was kind of like an old school hustle for them. Like, they all played in college, and they say, hey, listen, we're gonna put on a clinic or a camp, put all our names on it, had the kids come out, charge, whatever money for them to come in, and that's it. And really, if you think about it, if a player has that name recognition, they really don't even have to be there for the whole camp. They can have their boys come from high school, whatever assistant coach they had come and really run the clinic, and then they show up at the end of the day to give a speech to the players. You know what I mean? It's still that. So there's ways to get around it for them to get paid. I like it because I think that anything that lessens the exploitation of young Black men and women, because hopefully the young women can profit off of this as well. Anything that benefits them, I'm all for that. I think that these universities have made tons of money, and they've exploited these young athletes to the nth degree. So I like that this is happening. But like Arika said, I wonder what type of loophole they're going to find that's going to allow them to either limit what the players can get or make it to where they can profit from it as well. Because they'll find some way to do it. But that's just me thinking out loud, but I like it on its surface.
Yeah, I think I like it as well. It's not without its flaws though. Like C was saying, there's a lot of, it's not enough. It's a good start, and to me, it was rushed because like California had done it on the state level, and there were other states that were already doing it, so they had to kind of do something. Otherwise, you run the risk of literally every good college players like, well, I'm gonna go play at UCLA, or I'm gonna go to USC, or I'm gonna go to Stanford, or whatever, because North Carolina, you can't do this. Duke, they're not letting you do this. So they're trying to, they're something they should have done so long ago. But I think the capitalism aspect, Marv, like you said, if you can get it. If you can't, then that's on you. I also think there's going to be a push for them to kind of unionize. So they'll be like, okay, we'll pool the money somehow and everybody gets something, so it's not that third string tight end is not getting nothing. He might not get what the star quarterback's going to get, but he's going to get a little something. I think that's what it's going to lead to as well.
But see, I don't know if that's really necessary because, like, when we played college football, right, they never put the numbers on the dude, right? Or did they put the numbers on him but not their name?
Yeah,
I think they put the number on him so you knew who you were.
Names like in the 80s, I think.
Yeah, they put the number on him so you knew who you were playing with, but they wouldn't put the name, right? So it was like their attributes, their speed rating, all their hands and all that stuff, but you wouldn't know their name. You aren't really back in the day when we were college. We were playing to play with Cordell Stewart. We were playing to play with Eric Bieniemy, those top guys. You weren't playing for the third string tight end. So maybe they could say if it's a video game or something that's for the whole NCAA Division I, then everybody gets a piece of that. But anything that you can garner in terms of like shoe endorsements, video game endorsements, anything, that's on you, player. And I think as it is right now, you can't do anything. I mean, I've heard stories where, a young man had, lost his mom. He was, raised by his mother. His mother passed away and people were trying to raise money for him to get him back home. And that was somewhat of a violation. They couldn't even do that. So I think that this really opens it up for all that exploitation to go away.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I guess, if it was a general licensing agreement or something for the whole team or something, then they could benefit off of that. But I also was thinking, I wonder, you see all this stuff on those movies like Blue Chips and like the program where the boosters were paying these kids under the table. Now it's on the table. They said they could offer the kids paid internships, because that was one of the things. If you were on scholarship, you couldn't have a paid internship, so that's going to benefit the kids. Some of them, I'm sure, this car dealership like, hey, you can intern with us. We'll pay you $50,000 for this summer. You don't even got to show up. You just, you don't even got to work. You can just show up on Fridays, or something like that.
So old school mob jobs and no show jobs.
Exactly.
But that's good though, because it removes the fear for these kids that they can't get any help or assistance from anybody without worrying about their eligibility. Because how many of us have been penalized, whereas the other white kids get away with, these under the table payments, but they can't wait to find one of us getting some shoes or too expensive of a dinner or something like that. So I feel like it's another way to, undermine the success of Black athletes too. So when you take away that fear, that gives them a little bit more leeway to play the field like everybody else, and they might have more negotiating power because, hey, if I'm star quarterback and you making millions off of me at the games and stuff, maybe now I want a little bit of money. Now maybe I get to sit at the table and make some decisions because, hey, you need me. I want to play, but you still need me because I can go somewhere else.
These kids have Instagram followers. I know young men who are going in the top D1, they're already verified on social media. Just think about, not just shoe endorsements, because we automatically go to that with basketball, but like clothing endorsements, whatever. You know what I mean? There's things that they can get. Yeah.
I saw I can't think of it because I'm not into the gaming type deal that much anymore. But it was one of those sites because it's supposed to take effect July 1st. And they put out something on Instagram, was like, any D1 athlete who wants to advertise us on their page, hit us up. You know what I mean? They already like hit us up because all these kids, they on Twitch or whatever, watching each other play video games, and they might throw a little ad on their page. That's money for them, and that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than nothing, but like I said, it's just not enough. It's a start. It's a start. It's a way for those athletes, a lot of them, to get paid, not all of them, but it's still, the NCAA is still going to keep making billions and billions every year, and they're not willing to let go of any of that. That's what I don't like. Depending on what sport you play, and I'm not going to say it doesn't happen because we know that it does, but most college athletes, just because of their practice and game schedule, it's hard for them to take certain classes to get a degree that's productive, post graduation, to where they can make the type of money that they really, want to or need to without, playing professional sports. So I just still feel like the NCAA's got to do more. They're not willing to give up any of their profits at this point.
Yeah, because is this So this is like, okay, y'all can go make money, right? We're not going to prevent you from making money, but whatever profits we get from the gate sales, from whatever merchandise that we sell, you don't get any of that. That's us. But you, unless it has your likeness on it, unless it has like your number that you're wearing currently during that season, then I can see the players saying, "Nah, I want some of that." But if it's something, and now I think about it, is that really different than what these professional contracts are? In
Well,
terms,
so
I mean, I guess they are because they get a split of the revenue. So like in
yeah,
NBA, they
professional
get a
athletes
split of the revenue. So I guess
with the shirts, they get a portion of that. So with these new rules with the NCAA, you can't get a portion of anything that has anything to do with the school. The school's name can't be on a shirt, a program. It can't be an advertisement. So it's just you by yourself. So if they, have you have the number one selling jersey in the nation, and that's your number, and that's the number you're playing on, it, you get zero. You still get nothing, just like last year and the years before, you got nothing. So
yeah, they said something about it took away the artificial limit for what you could offer somebody educationally too, which is, depend upon which athlete. The top guys, it's not that big of a deal, but for some of the guys who aren't going to have a career, I always think of football because it's 100 guys on the football team, and so some of those guys are playing football and they know they're not going to be in the NFL. They're playing, I mean, it gets them an education, but they still had that artificial cap on what we can offer to you. So like I said, they can't offer you internships. They said they can pay for them to do study abroad programs, pay for books and computers and stuff, where before they weren't able to do that kind of stuff. So
if you think about it though, that may make this crazy though, because you think about, look at some of the higher earning areas, like look at the universities that have look at, let's say, like a Texas A&M versus, and if you're in the state of Texas, like the Texas A&M, they run Texas. They like skull and crossbones in Texas. So say you got those boosters, those alumni who are fluent and who can offer that, then that does kind of tip the scales of, because it's an arms race when you're recruiting players. It's like it's facilities, it's the coaching, the facilities and the coaches. That I would say facilities is like top 2 or 3. You know what I mean? That's why HBCUs have such a problem with this. And I wonder how this is going to impact our kids at HBCUs.
I was just about to say what you brought up is a point to where I honestly think part of it was the reaction to kids being like, you know what, maybe I'm not going to go to Texas A&M. I'll go to Jackson State, or I'll go to Tennessee State, or whatever. So this is actually going to widen that gap between the haves and the have-nots, because like you said, Texas A&M runs the state of Texas. So they got people in high places, or, that can offer certain things to where, you might have thought about going to Prairie View. You might have thought about going to Texas Southern, but this guy from Texas A&M, like, hey man, I got a job for you this summer, $25K just for the summer.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Yeah. And I wonder, can the family start getting jobs? Like how what's the limit?
Start? What you talking about? They've been.
No, I'm just saying, like, legally. You know what I'm saying? Because like the whole Reggie Bush deal, like when they bought his mama's house, and Cam Newton. I don't think Cam ever got, they ever really.
Danny Manning.
Yeah. Did Danny Manning get paid too?
No, I mean they got it. KU gave his dad a job. He was assistant.
But I'm talking about when they just gave like Cat's mom's house, like we buy your mama a house.
Bro. Oh yeah, like Reggie Bush, yeah.
Like is there a cap on that? Is there a rule against that? Where does it stop? I'm all for it. Hey, I'm all for it. For real.
I am too. Just gonna keep
capitalism.
Yeah, because that just. But hopefully, these players. I mean, I'm for it, but hopefully they still have some. I'm for it as long as they not sellouts. You know what I mean? You don't get all that, and then you ain't dating black women, and you ain't for the community or anything like that. If you just taking your resources to give it to a Kardashian or something like that, I ain't really for it. But hopefully these brothers got some sort of, some sort of self-respect. So let me stop. Which I know what I'm
For real.
I know what I mean. All right, y'all. I think we talked about it enough. Shout out to all those athletes. Get money, get paid. Make sure that you all follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Man Listen Show. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. Tell everybody to follow us. Tell everybody about the blackest radio show on the internet, the Man Listen Show. We'll holler at you next time. Peace.